Hey guys, Rampage Tech here. In this video I'm going to show you how to image a hard drive and test different versions of Windows without leaving your current operating system. And you're probably wondering to yourself, how are you going to do that? How are you going to do that with a computer if you have to use a Windows installation media such as a CD or, in a lot of my cases, a flash drive? Well, this is going to be super simple. But first, I got to switch to my desktop scene, so just give me one moment. So, oh, there we go. So, as you can see, my desktop's great. Sorry about the no icons, but gotta have no icons for personal reasons. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna run a great command, and this only works in Windows 10 that I found out. But we're gonna run a great command called dism. And what dism or Dism does, I don't know how. I'm just gonna say dism or Dism throughout the video. So whenever I say Dism, do understand that I'm just referring to this command here. So here's what we're going to do. First things first is you need to check your drives or your partitions. Make sure they're working, make sure the disk is good, or in your case if you have a partition of your C drive it may be good, but just check it to be safe. Run a check disk, it will save you in the long run. So what we're going to do is we're just going to format this. Don't pay that no attention. I don't have headphones in, so I'm not monitoring the sound. So we're going to format the drive. Drive D has nothing. I was trying to record this video earlier and it kind of just derped out on me. Okay, so now after you formatted your drive or you have a clean partition you want to test, you want to just minimize all this and you need an elevated command prompt. So just go to Cortana, CMD, and you want to right click and click Run as Admin. The reason why we run as admin is because this is essentially installing Windows, and when installing Windows to a hard drive requires administrative privileges. If not, it will fuss at you and you will give a command, or it'll give you an error. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take this, and a great little tool to save you a lot of time in Windows 10 is a lot of people would copy, go to the command prompt, enter or select it all, enter, open a new console window and hit enter. Well, here it's easier. You just copy, right click, you copy this, go to your command prompt and right click. It's super simple, super easy, and it's actually a feature that is super great. So now, next thing is you need to find an image. A legal image. I've obtained my images from actual Windows 7, Windows 8, and Windows 10 installation media. Actually, I downloaded the Windows 10 to my flash drive and installed it on my computer from day one. I've always kept the install.wim just in case I need it. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go to where our images are. For my case it's C, Images, and then we're going to install Windows 7. So what we're going to do is we're just going to fix our command here. This is just a template I made a while back about this. So what we're going to do is we're going to go C images win7x64.wim. Make sure you have the file extension on there, otherwise it's going to be super mad and it's going to be like, I can't find the file. Now if your folder name has spaces, all you need to do is just put it in quotation marks, and that will tell command prompt, hey, it's in this place, just search here. A little bit about this command before we run it though is when you have /apply_image, it's going to install Windows or the image file that you have, whether it be you packaged Windows XP in a WIM file or any other operating system. As long as it's WIM and it's a compatible WIM image that will be understood by the dism command, or I'm just going to say disk image, the disk imaging command, it should work. Index 1 is your selection. So if I chose index 0, I believe, it would be home basic. I'm not sure, I haven't really fiddled around with this too much. I've just been seeing what works and what don't. And your apply directory is where you're going to install it to. So if you can install this, you can install Windows to a folder, or install Windows to a folder. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hit enter. And just note, this varies on hard drive speed. I'm installing it to an 80 gig Seagate drive that come out of a Windows XP machine way back, so this will take some time. And if your command, or if it looks like the command window is frozen, a great way to check to see if it's still doing anything, check your disk utilization. Disk utilization will always be a dead giveaway, because sometimes it might look like it's frozen, but it's still writing information to the disk. It may look frozen, but just check. You never want to stop, because you might have errors. So while this is going, I will be right back. And we're back. Okay, so after the command finally finishes, it takes a good while. What we now want to do is we want to use the same command prompt, because we need this elevated command prompt one more time, and we're going to run a nifty command called bcdboot, and we're going to go to, actually wait a second, we need to point it to D, sorry, and then Windows, and then bcdboot D Windows. And this command will add the Windows folder, or it will create a boot record for this version of Windows. So let it run. It takes some time depending on what drive you have, but after it's done, it's finally ready to go. You now have a version of Windows. You've now added that Windows onto your main drive's master boot record. So now a program I really highly recommend getting is not Facebook. Facebook is not a good program to get, I'm sorry. Let's just open up Firefox. And you want to go to Google. Don't pay any attention, my Firefox is usually this slow. And what you want to search is download VMware. And you want to get VMware Player. Once again, Firefox, you're dropping the ball. I'll leave a download link in the description if you guys want it, but what you need is VMware Workstation Player for Windows 64-bit. And what this will do is it gives you access to one thing we critically need. Otherwise, you're going to have to shut down your machine and test it normally. And this gives you access to physical disks. And what I mean by that is if you have Windows installed onto 2 disks with independent master boot records, it can grab that other disk, make it not usable to your main computer, but in the virtual machine it can still boot and read the Windows installation like you booted it itself on your main computer. I'm not going to download it, I already have it installed, as you can see down in the bottom. So what we're going to do is we're just going to run our great VMware. And one thing to check before we even do this is to go to this PC one more time and see that indeed all of our stuff is there. Program files x86, program data, all that. It's all there. Good. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go to our Windows 7 here. And one quick thing to check before we do anything is whenever you're setting up a Windows 7 installation, is you always want to make sure you keep your specs under what your normal computer would be. If you have 8 gigabytes of RAM, 4 gigabytes would be the max I would recommend going. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go to Edit Virtual Machine Settings after you create a new one, of course. And what you want to do is you want to go to your hard disk here and you want to remove it. And if you're wondering why, it's because we need to attach it to a physical disk. Once again, it's going to be like, hey, we need administrative privileges, so just click yes. Don't worry, it's not going to cause your computer to breathe magical blue smoke. And we just wait a little bit. It does take some time because I'm recording to the same drive I'm using. We're going to go hard disks. I really haven't experimented. I've always used SCSI because it works well for what I need it to work with. So just hit next. use a physical disk. Now this is for advanced users, not users, sorry. And this means, hey, we're using a physical drive to attach to. So here goes nothing. And we're going to want to attach it to physical drive 0 because that's what my drive is. Physical drive 0 is the 80 gig drive. It's trial and error because you got to find what the physical drive is. So we're just going to go back through it and add it again. SCSI, physical drive 1, next. There we go, 931 gigs. Okay, so now we're going to power on the machine. Hopefully Windows doesn't lock up. The physical disk is already in use. Well, okay. So this means one thing, then that means we have to restart the computer. So I will switch to my phone to capture video for that. Alright guys. Hey guys, I'm recording off my phone now, as you can see. Woo! 30 FPS. Totally awesome. But what we're going to do is we're just going to restart our computer. And the reason why I have to do it this way is because I don't have a capture card in my machine, sadly. And now you get to see how dirty my camera is. And my awesome keyboard. As well as mouse. But mainly my awesome keyboard. Ugh, Windows Update. Keyboard update, keyboard update, keyboard update. Yeah, restarting takes a while. If you hear any fan noises, it's that trooper down there. It's doing updates, let's put it that way. So, yeah, it does take some time. I'll be back when my computer restarts. And we restarted. So, you don't have to push any special buttons, any kind of key combinations, nothing. Just let your computer come back up as normal. So give it some time. My motherboard's slow. It's running an FM2 processor. Okay, and if everything goes right, you should have a Windows 7 and Windows 10, or you should have your main operating system and whatever you installed on top. Whatever your main operating system is on the bottom. So we're just going to hit Windows 7, and it will proceed to load Windows 7. And if the image was bad, this would be the part where it would fail. It wouldn't fail to boot at all. And as you can see, it's doing its first boot image thing and all that. And as you can tell, it's utilizing hard drive, as always. And it's performing exactly like Windows 7 would. So I'm going to take a video of, setting it up as well, because people might think, hey, you leave the setup out, they'll probably think, oh, hey, it's probably a different process, it might be too complicated, but no, it's exactly like setting up a normal Windows 7 PC. Although setup does take some time. Even with quad-core machines, it takes a fair bit of time. Now, do note, a lot of this will probably take a while because my keyboard requires special drivers to work. So, yeah. And like I said, the length of this is also very dependent on hard drive speed. If your hard drive speed isn't the best in the world, then yeah. So, yeah. I recommend using a hard drive for this because doing installation like this will eat up write cycles like crazy. So I will be back whenever this finishes. So it finally finished installing devices. I just didn't want to make the video like 2 hours long waiting for that to finish. We're applying system settings now. My mouse still has yet to kick back on, but it's Still going nonetheless, no crashes. Still going. Still going. That looks weird. But anyhow. Yeah, there's actually just a little bit of backlight bleed. But not too much. Actually, hold on. It's perspective. Setup will continue after restarting your computer. Well, thanks, computer. Or, not computer. PC. Now, a fun thing to do is you can also, I believe, if I can, I'll test this out after getting done with this, after I'm done shooting this portion, to see if I can get it to work. And if it does, it'll be another video on this channel. So what you want to do is, when it restarts, is you want to select your second operating system again. And easy way to remove this, it's super simple. All you gotta do is just format your drive, msconfig, and delete the Windows 7 boot, the Windows 7 boot files, or boot list, the listing for Windows 7, and it will remove it, and your computer will boot straight into whatever operating system you had, but this only will boot back into Windows 10, sorry. So, computer will start. Preparing your computer for first time use. I remember getting a laptop. That was like the best thing to see in the world. That was so cool. It sure is taking a while. Checking video performance. Well, there's no video drivers installed, so yeah. Have fun installing video drivers. It does take quite some time. There we go. Oh, snap. And that's why. So I'll be back once I grab a USB mouse. Okay, so unfortunately I don't have a USB mouse, which is kinda terrible because I don't have a traditional USB mouse, so yeah. What you would do is you'd click next, it would go into its normal Windows installation and be like, hey, this kind of sucks. But thanks for watching. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it. Thumbs down if you think my video editing skills can use some work, or my explanation. If you're feeling up or down more, or you want to explain more criticisms on how everything goes, leave a comment down below. Once again, thanks for watching. Peace.